Well, folks, they say history repeats itself, and in the first 6 months of 2021, the elite, die-hard operators of our Sitrep community has proved that ancient military maxim true in fine friggin' style. I'm talking about we finally managed to hit, or actually we hit way ahead of schedule, 600 subscribers on YouTube and 500 followers on Facebook. So when I say history repeats itself, let me quickly explain what I'm talking about. At the beginning of 2020, remember the beginning of 2020, way before COVID and all this other nonsense, we set a goal. At the time, we had about 200 subscribers, and we said that we were going to hit 300 at the end of the year, and that sounded kind of ambitious because we're just a tiny little channel. But we said, we're going to go for it, and we're going to see how far we get. As it turns out, we hit our annual goal, our goal for the end of December 31st of 2020. We hit that goal at about 9 p.m. local time on June 30th, 2020. So almost to the hour, halfway through the year, we hit our goal for the entire year. We managed to hit 300 subscribers, pretty much on the money. Again, almost to the hour on 30 June 2020. So needless to say, I was, really, jazzed about that. So I said maybe we can get to 400 by the end of the year, since we already picked up 100 in the first half of the year. We made that with about 24 hours to spare. I think about 10 a.m. on New Year's Eve, or maybe it was December 30th. We actually hit 400 subscribers for the year. So we basically doubled our goal in 2020. So we said, okay, we picked up 200 subscribers in 2020. Let's see if we can do that again in 2021. So our goal was to hit 600 subscribers at the end of 2021. We started 2021 with 400. We had 200 more. We're going to get to 600 by the end of 2021. And like I said, history repeats itself. We hit 601 subscribers. Actually, we were actually at 602 a little early in the week. But we passed 600 subscribers with basically a day and a half to spare. So once again, we hit our full-time goal for the year almost exactly halfway through the year. So that, at least on YouTube, and that's just awesome. We got something like 85 followers on Twitch. Our Discord is up to almost 80 members, and we also passed 500. That was another one of Bill's big goals for the year, was to get to 500 subscribers for Facebook, or I should say followers for Facebook. So we're hitting our goals all over the place. They might not sound like huge, numbers to, a gigantic channel that does Star Wars and movies and, God knows what else. But for a modern military, first of all, we're a wargaming channel, so niche. Next, we're a historical wargaming channel, super niche. We're a predominantly, although not exclusively, modern, post-1945 military wargaming channel. We're like a niche within a niche within a niche. So, we're never looking to become like, 12 million, we're never going to be like an Instagram influencer or anything like that. We just like to, share our passion for the community and for the hobby with our community. And, hey, if we get to, X number of subscribers, we're happy for every subscriber that we have. We've been busting our asses in 2021. Let me tell you, 2021, we really have been swinging for the fences. We started off with a huge slab of content for the 30th anniversary of the Gulf War. We started off with another 4 Op Center episodes. The first one there was on, background, overall strategic overview, causes and background of the Gulf War. We then went to the Air War. We went to the Ground War, Operation Desert Saber, in part 3 of that series. And then we finished up the series by finishing up the Ground War and looking at lessons learned and, things like that for, how the Gulf War was going to influence the world situation going forward. The Gulf War, if you don't know how the Gulf War influences your everyday life, you need to think about that next time you log into Facebook. The reason we have an internet is the Gulf War. The reason, I hate to say it, some other things are not so great. The Gulf War was one of the major things that they used as a pathetic excuse for the attack on 9/11. And if you don't think 9/11 affects your life, I don't know what to tell you. All of that kind of goes back to the Gulf War. The Gulf War started the decline of Saddam Hussein, and therefore leads to the entire Second Gulf War. That leads to the rise of ISIS. That leads to perhaps even the Arab Spring. He was the first of the big, secular Arab leader strongmen to kind of fall. Who knows if that kind of led to the stuff that we would see happening in Syria, that stuff would be happening in Egypt and Libya, in later decades. It might have been the first kind of big crack in that system of government we see in so many countries over there, or we saw former tense in so many countries over there. So the Gulf War is a big deal. It's a big deal for war gamers too, because we all see things like Northag system out there. We see things like Team Yankee, Fate of a Nation, Oil Wars. None of those wars happened. Come on. The Gulf War is the closest thing we ever got to any kind of real scenario that even kind of looked like that. Without the Gulf War, we wouldn't know anything about how those kind of weapon systems really collide on that scales, because it's the only time you see the American and British armies, and the French army too, the Italians, everybody was there almost, really colliding with Soviet-built armies, or at least armies built on Soviet equipment. And in those scales, you could add up all the Arab-Israeli wars you want. You could put them in one big pile. You don't get to the Battle of Norfolk. You don't get really to the Battle of 73 Easting, or, well, that's maybe, okay, leaving out Yom Kippur. The Gulf War is absolutely huge. And it's where almost everything that we think we know about large-scale modern combat does not come out of these battlefields of West Germany that never happened. It comes from the Gulf War. So when you're playing things like Team Yankee, Oil Wars, Fate of a Nation, Northag, I have some bad news. Well, not bad news, but I've got spoilers. You're really playing a Gulf War type scenario. That's where all those results really, tend to come from. So we wanted to hit that part of the content very, very hard. How many times do you get to do the 30th anniversary? I was actually in the military during the Gulf War. A lot of my friends in the community were in the military during the Gulf War. So it's not, we all have a sort of a personal connection to it as well. We tried to hit that piece of content from every angle. We obviously did a lot of TCME Panzerleader. We did the Irish Hussars in that battle. We did Air War C-21 in the Gulf War. We did a Sitrep Skirmish. We tried out Sitrep Skirmish in the Gulf War. We did SAS as Scud Hunters for the Gulf War. We even did a 15mm battle group, some actual physical tabletop gaming. Yeah, we did a lot of stuff for that. We did something like 22 pieces of content for the Gulf War between like January 15th and the end of February. So yeah, we hit that piece of content really hard, because that's the kind of anniversary that you don't get to do very often. When you focus on modern post-1945 military wargaming. Moving forward from there, we also did some great content for the Battle of Kings Mountain in the American Revolution. Again, we don't just do modern military gaming. We also do things in other... it's always got to be military history. It's always got to be real. We don't do Star Wars, 40K. We don't do anything fantasy. We don't do any Lord of the Rings. We don't do any... it's got to have happened, or at least plausibly could happen. Which leads into some next hobbies that we did, or some other genres that we did. We did Ultra Combat Moderns with some firefights, again, that haven't happened yet, knock on wood, between U.S. Army and Russian forces in Ukraine. Expanding on that, we did some Tactical Combat Middle East Panzerleader set in 2025 Ukraine. Again, a war that hasn't happened yet, but we, kind of taking a look at what that war would possibly resemble if Putin just said, "Oh, the hell with it, I'm not going to be, no more subterfuge. We're going in there, Zhukov style, and I want those two. I want Donetsk and I want Luhansk. I want those two oblasts, and I want them now." Not a very likely scenario for a whole bunch of reasons that we went into during those tense weeks. We actually ran those games during the weeks when that crisis was really starting to spike again. I made some predictions. Spoiler alert: I was right again, but not here to brag too much. But I pay attention to this stuff, and other members of the team do as well. We really do try to stay up on this stuff, and we make some predictions, and we're not always right, but we got a pretty good track record. We've also expanded how we look at hobby, like old school traditional hobby. We've had some great painting videos. We've done all kinds of painting videos. I've done helicopters. I've done a BMP. Actually, it's right up here that Madman sent me. We've done I should say Bill has done most recently the great War Without Hate series. He did 3 pieces of video. You guys should definitely check it out if you haven't yet. That is a German and British soldier in Tunisia. I'm going to guess they're definitely in the desert, and they're wearing like gray coats and things like that. So I'm pretty sure we're looking at the fall and winter of 42 to 43, based on the kinds of gear they're wearing and the kinds of weapons and equipment they have. I haven't seen the miniatures up close, so I can't say for 100% sure, but that's kind of my guess. And it's a British soldier and a German soldier sharing a smoke. Like maybe out on patrol they met one night, or they're both sentries out there on the perimeter. And they say, you know what? Our officers aren't looking. We don't have to blow each other's heads off. Let's just, take it easy. I don't have any personal problem with you. You don't have any personal problem with me. I don't want to speak for the entire team here, but I can definitely speak for myself, and I can pretty much hazard a guess that the whole team, the whole Sitrep team, kind of looks at this kind of content. I don't want to say what's the word I'm looking for here. They definitely can empathize with that kind of content. And the reason I say it is because we're all veterans. Everyone who's on the Sitrep team now has served with the United States military at one time or another. So we've all kind of been there. Even if we haven't, some of us have been closer to combat than others. I was a rear echelon, air-conditioned, ops center guy. I wasn't nowhere near anything, trust me. But when you wear your uniform, you realize that the other guy is wearing a uniform too, and the other guy is putting up a lot of the same bullshit that you put up with. The other guy has asshole officers or inept NCOs, or the other guy's far from home. The other guy really doesn't want to be there. The other guy doesn't really have a problem with you. So I think that was a great piece of content to kind of close out our first half of the year on. Another thing that we did in this first half of our year was, and this I'm particularly proud of, I didn't get to do it myself, but I was so proud and I was so happy to see the rest of the team get to go to the Little Wars convention. Because I don't know about you, I am about goddamn sick of COVID-19 and all this mess, and everyone whining and complaining and whinging. Every friggin' website I go to, people, when are the conventions coming back? I'd like to. Dude, we've been there. We've done that. We've stuck our flag in that soil. We've been to the top of that mountain. We've already covered a convention. I say we like I was there. Our team has already covered a convention. Granted, it's Little Wars up in the Midwest. It's not a huge convention, but the conventions are coming back. And these gaming media teams that we see, around the internet, like Sitrep Podcast, is starting to cover them again. And I'm going to go ahead and brag. God damn it, we were one of the first, if not the first, team to be out there at the convention circuit, covering whatever conventions that we could. They put up a whole bunch of content for that. That's going to be Marty, Chris, and Bill, and they did a fantastic job on that. And I was just really, kind of happy to say I was part of the team when that went out. We've done a whole bunch of Arab Israeli Wars content. We've done modern naval combat in the Spratly Islands. Again, that's not one of those hypothetical conflicts that could happen. Like literally, open up your phone. It could happen tomorrow, where the American and the Chinese navies, something goes wrong out there, and before you know it, missiles are flying. So, I mean, again, hoping that remains hypothetical, but, Here on the Sitrep podcast, we do modern gaming, and we try to take a look at things that could happen, or are happening right now. That does make some people a little uncomfortable, and again, we're never going to have the kind of numbers that a Star Wars or 40K or Lord of the Rings channel, or just a channel that does, like, Star Wars Battlefront, or who knows what, the new X-Wing Squadrons game. But we don't play it safe. We're going to talk about things that are happening right now. We like a little bit of reality. We like a little bit of gravity. We like a little bit of, hey, no shit, this could actually happen. This is happening. This matters. For us, it's not just playing with toy soldiers. If that's your thing, great. And sometimes we like casual games too. But by and large, that's not really what we're about. So we do cover topics that some people are going to find a little too close to, like, right now, like 5 minutes from now, or even worse. 5, 10 years, months, weeks, days in the future. But again, that's the kind of stuff that we cover sometimes. Going back a little bit, we've done I'm not going to list through every video we've done. We've done like way too many videos in some ways. We've done D-Day for the D-Day anniversary. We've done Barbarossa for the 80th anniversary of Barbarossa. We've done the Soviet-Afghanistan War, again using the new Sitrep's skirmish system. We've taken a first swing at the just now released, I think it was released on June 18th, so less than 2 weeks ago. The Valor and Victory release. That's on Matrix Games, along with Slitherine and Yobo Wargames, if I'm getting all the partners correct. Yeah, so we've done plenty of stuff. And you guys have been with us every step of the way. So any bit of success that we've had, I mean, again, our numbers aren't that big compared to other channels, but if you look at it as a percentage, we've been doubling like every 6 months, almost. And I gotta tell you, we owe all of that to you guys. Here's hoping that we can keep it definitely going forward into the future. So, again, here's to a great second half of 2021. I'd like to thank a couple people in particular. Again, thanks to everybody for sure. But on top of that, definitely thanks to everybody who has been signing up with our Sunday War Games. So you guys know who you are. I'm going to go through the guys that come back a lot. We're talking about Chip. We're talking about Piotr, Damon, Dylan, Bernard. There's been a lot of guys. Rasmus. Sorry, I almost missed you there. Definitely Rasmus. Rasmus has been back and forth with us a lot. So absolutely thanks to all you guys. It would be really tough to keep that Sunday content coming without opponents. Solo wargaming we can do once in a while. We can kind of get by with an edition or with an episode of People's General, or with a demo game or something like that. But honestly, we need players. So again, I'm not saying that I mentioned everybody there, but those are the ones that keep coming back like time and time and time again. Definitely a huge thanks to those guys who really are. They might not be formal members of the team, but in my book, they're damn close. They're almost like our National Guard reserves, because I mean, without those participants, we would have a really tough time putting out Sunday content. So definitely hope that we can continue to count on that content. And again, if anybody else out there wants to become part of the show, all you need is a Skype account, and we can set up a time. And you can see if you got what it takes to take command and really become part of the team or part of the show, and command troops, air quotes, in combat. Also wanted to definitely thank Dylan. That's LSR 2590. He recently put out a video reviewing a game that well, it's not really a Sitrep game. It's Dark Star. It's our sci-fi starship combat game. But he also featured our merch on his channel and gave us a big shout out to our channel. Again, Dark Star isn't really part of the content we present as part of Sitrep, because it's not exactly military historical stuff. But I kind of do it on the side. I mean, even I like some sci-fi once in a while. And again, he talked about our merch, and he just basically gave our channel a whole lot of positive exposure. So that's Dylan. LSR 2590 is his screen handle, and he is on Another Historian Wargamer is his YouTube channel. So go check out that Dark Star review, and definitely give him a like and subscribe. He's a great contributor too, and he's got a great little channel over there on his own his own YouTube channel for history-based hobby over there on his channel as well. Also wanted to thank Madman. Madman is the guy who provided me with these two miniatures back here, the BMP-1 and the BM-21 rocket launcher truck. The one has already been sort of featured in a couple of our videos. We painted it up. It's going to be featured in future gaming tables, 20 millimeter. When you do modern military gaming, the BM-21, I'm sorry, the BMP-1 APC is one of those vehicles that's never going to be unemployed. You're never going to find that vehicle in the unemployment line. It's just ubiquitous, doesn't even begin to cover it. So you can use that in Yugoslavia, in Kosovo, in Serbia. You can use it in Georgia. You can use it in Ossetia. You can use it in Ukraine. You can use it even in just like nondescript Eastern European colors like that. Never mind desert colors. It's been in combat on just about every continent on Earth except Antarctica and probably Australia. Other than that, it's been in combat somewhere on just about every continent on the Earth. It's been around for 50 years. It's probably going to be around for another 50 years. Not the most glorious vehicle in the world, but as far as a gaming miniature, if you want to get modern gaming going, you want some vehicles, you're not going to go wrong with the BMP-1. You're going to get your money's worth out of it. Same with the BM-21 Grad rocket truck. We see that weapon system used with depressing frequency in the 2014-2015 Ukraine war. The Ukraine war is still going on, but 2014-15 is when it was really at its peak. So again, thanks very much to Madman for providing those miniatures for us. And of course, I also wanted to thank Dylan. Dylan got me this book, which I promised I was going to read. I am about halfway through it, Crossing of the Suez. So Damon, I'm sorry, I think I got the name wrong. Damon, that's one of our friends who also games with us. I've done a lot of Panzerleader, a lot of Tactical Combat Middle East, to make sure if I can get it there without any glare. So again, guys, it's really nice, but you don't have to send me stuff. But definitely super appreciated. What I've gotten through that book so far, it's pretty interesting. It's a collection of first-hand accounts, so you do have to take it with a little bit of salt. And it's put together almost like a Christopher Nolan movie. It's not just 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 1,400 hours, 1,500 hours, 1,800 hours, end of the day, beginning of the next day. It's all over the place. It talks about when in the 1973 war, when the Israeli army, or the IDF I should say, was sort of mounting Operation Gazelle or Operation Stout-Hearted Men, depending on the source. And they were trying to countercross, they were trying to recross back over the Suez Canal, back over onto the western bank of the Suez Canal during the 1973 Yom Kippur War. Until the Gulf War, that was the go-to war. As far as you want to see American and Soviet, or even British, you want to see Western military equipment versus Soviet military equipment in a real-life shooting war. No simulators, no training, no laser beams, no blue bombs, none of that nonsense. You want to see these weapons in action, for real, you went to 1973. Again, if you're playing Team Yankee, you're really playing Yom Kippur. If you're playing, Fate of a Nation, well, Fate of a Nation doesn't even make any bones about it. You're playing Yom Kippur. And then now you're playing, to a certain extent, 1991 Gulf War. So, yeah, great book for that, and thanks very much, Damon, again, for sending that. So that's about it, guys. I didn't want to take up a whole bunch of time today. This is just kind of a bonus stream to kind of, it's now July 1st. We're officially beginning the second half of 2021. Just wanted to take a quick look back at the first half of 2021. It's been exhausting. I'm not gonna lie. Especially that Gulf War stuff. That was. I don't think I've worked as hard outside of an actual real job on anything, at least for a while in my life. That was a lot of work. But hey, it's paid off so far. We made our annual goal in the first 6 months, and we did it again. And again, that's all thanks to you guys. So super appreciate it. I know I say this at the end of every stream. Hey guys, I appreciate all your support, but we really do. I know it's starting to sound like a bit of a mantra at this point, but it actually is, the real deal. We really do appreciate it. We don't make any money at this or anything like that. The only reason we do this is because, we know that out there somebody appreciates it. So when we get a little bit of that feedback back, either if it's a like, another subscribe, a comment on Discord or whoever, guys, it really does mean a lot to us. So we definitely appreciate it. So that's about all I had for now. Again, okay, so one super fast announcement, which most of you probably already know. There will be no live gaming this Sunday. This Sunday falls directly on July 4th, American Independence Day. I'll be out of town visiting my dad. Dad, hi, how you doing? I'm coming up there. I'll see you very soon. So, yeah, I'm going to be out of town, and I'm not going to be, running a stream. We will have content for you, though. That content is it's cut, ready, polished, it's in the can. And that'll be coming out. That'll be coming out on the day. So you'll have your normal Sunday content. You'll probably be too busy, hot dogs, grills, the whole 9 yards, fireworks. But if not, no worries. And again, it's not exactly live content, so check it out, whenever you want. I think you'll like it. It's not my usual, computer screen hex encounters kind of stuff. It's a little bit more traditional hobby. I think you'll like it. But for now, this is Risky Jim signing off for the Sitrep podcast. One more time, thanks everybody for all your support. It's always apparent, but it's especially apparent today. Again, we nailed our 2021 goals halfway through the year again. So, that's just an awesome feeling, and we owe it all to you guys. So thanks very much, and we'll be in touch very soon. Tango Mike, everybody, and I'll talk to you later.